Today is Wednesday, October 7th, 2020. This is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. Our main agenda for today is 119 and 120. Regarding 119, I think we've been making some progress in terms of getting the CI fixed. I see Patrick has a work in progress to update the kind version, and then I think Xing, your test with upgrading the snapshot controller is also looking good.
Okay, yeah. So it looks like your latest comments are pretty minor, right? So you're okay. So if that's the case, I will just move that change to the release tools.
Yep, sounds
okay.
Good to me.
All right. Will do.
And then the other thing is we're working on doing a bunch of patch releases to add this new metrics that we need for to be able to read the histograms. That is also going to be a work in progress. I think we've had to backport a bunch of stuff in order to actually do patch releases. So I think we had to backport release tools in order to be able to build using Go 115. The actual change to the CSI libutils has also been backported. But then this morning, I also realized we need to also backport the new builds to the new staging repo. So I think it will still be maybe a day or two before we can actually release some patches with this fix. That's all. Oh, yeah, that's all I have for 119. I think I spoke to Jing and she says she's looking into the permissions issue. Anything else regarding 119? All right.
I'm working on the PR to update the doc for webhook.
Okay, awesome. Oh, okay, let's add that as an item. Doc for.
Oh, do we also need that for the house monitor? Do we, you added something. Do we need more for that? Probably need to have more information for that one, right?
I see. We don't have pages for the health monitor stuff.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, just
okay.
add an item. Yeah, I will work on that one too. I was thinking about the house monitor for the E2E test, right? So we are right now adding that in the host path driver so that we can add E2E test. But I'm thinking, I wonder if the mock driver is actually better one to do E2E test, because how are we going to simulate those failures for the negative test? I mean, if you just use the
I think for negative tests, mock driver is definitely the better approach. I think.
Because for the regular, for this host path, there's not much, just to show it's there. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if it fails, then that's a natural failure. We shouldn't even fail the test. You know.
Yeah. And I think we're actually using. I think for most of the sidecars, we actually use the mock driver in unit tests.
Is that already? I thought that's also in E2E test, right? What is the?
We have both.
Okay.
So I think in the sidecar, in each sidecar repo, there's unit tests that use the mock driver. And then in Kubernetes itself, we have E2E tests that use the mock driver.
Okay, yeah, I see that there's a one PR. I think it was Yan who added that change to use that the Java hook thing, JavaScript hook.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, because someone actually signed up for the E2E test, but then I thought we need to wait for the host path change. But I think we should actually go ahead just to use the mock driver first to add.
Yes, yeah. I think that sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you. Moving on to 120. The enhancements deadline was yesterday. I believe all the features that we were tracking have made it in, so that's great. I guess I don't know if there's much update since yesterday or last time, but I guess we can go down some of these changes. I think Roanoke has the this benchmarking test for testing various volume operations. I will try to take a look at this this week.
I see that Patrick added a comment yesterday. Ask him to add some config parameters or something, make something configurable.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. There is this change going on to potentially fix a race between node unstage and delete volumes. Jing has been reviewing this, and she actually brought some concern that this might cause some headaches during ungraceful node shutdown. So we might, because this change will add a dependency on the node object. We might need to think about this a little more deeply. I think, Hamant, you've been also sort of reviewing this.
I haven't looked at like recently, like in last week. So but it's I was planning to review it again like today. So I'll take a look at it again today.
Okay.
I'm confused because I thought this was fixed in that change in the 2.0 provision.
I thought there was something in the so Sidecar has something for this, right?
That's between detach.
Okay.
Yeah, this detach. So but detach is node unstage.
No, this is specifically the race for controller publish. The change made in external provisioner was to handle controller publish unpublish. Whereas this specific issue is this is for like plugins that don't implement the controller side, and they only implement node stage and unstage.
Oh, okay. So you're saying if you implement the controller side, there's something that handles the race or fixes the ordering of node unstage and controller unpublish, and then there's something that controls the order of controller unpublish and delete volume so that there is no race if you have a controller implementation.
Yes.
But if you don't, then the race should still happen. I see. Okay, because I was gonna say this was a huge step forward for us when this race got fixed. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. This other PR that's been outstanding, I think has the original author responded at all to this? It's been a while.
What PR was that? Sorry, I'm just.
This one. Do not. Yeah.
No, they did not respond at all. So I was Christian, like is planning to look at it, so fixing this. I think it just needs tweaking, like where the call to remove the directory gets called. It should be not that hard.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Christian. All right. This next issue about not assuming directories are mount points. I think this is almost ready to go. I'll ping Jing to go ahead and continue reviewing this. And then we have Andy's change also related to not assuming things are mount points. It looks like Jan took a look at this the other day, so I think we just need Andy to. Are there any changes that are needed? I think Jan is asking you, Hamant, for some opinion on this one.
Okay. I didn't see this.
I think basically Jan is saying with this change, now node stage gets called for every pod.
Mm.
And he's wondering if that's going to impact node expand. Okay. Anyway, please take a
Okay.
look when you get a chance.
Okay. Where was this? Okay, I will look at it. Okay.
Cool. All right. Moving on to our features.
Michelle, before we move on,
oh yeah,
I have a question. I thought there was one that is also being worked on. I don't know. I couldn't find that on this project board now. The voting attachment not marked as detached cause problem when node is deleted. This is in the external attacher. Is that somewhere on this? I thought I saw that the other day. I don't know where that is now.
Yeah, no one's working on that one.
Okay.
Basically, that issue is happens when the node ungracefully shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a 6-minute timeout that kicks in before we force detach. But actually, I think we don't do it correctly for CSI. I think we don't clean up the volume attachment object, so I think there is a problem there that we need to fix in that flow. There's some work going on around handling some of these error cases with with detaching that people are planning on working on. So one thing is this dangling volume problem for CSI. There's someone from my team is going to be looking at this.
Okay.
And also this second problem here, garbage collecting volume attachment objects. Another person from my team will also be taking a look at this problem and trying to fix it. I'm not sure that's going to solve the other issue though about the ungraceful node shutdown.
Okay.
Zing, can you link me the issue? Like,
yeah, is that I thought I saw that on this project board. Maybe it's not there anymore. I thought somehow I thought
it's an external attacher. I opened it actually and had a long discussion with Jan and Saad about this one. And
yeah, so I added this one. Come on, it's in the chat.
Okay.
But can you add that to this project board? Because I thought somehow I thought I saw it, but now I don't see it anymore.
Where did it go?
I added that in the chat in our Zoom as well.
Okay. Oops.
Add it to the to-do.
Cool. About the dangling volume thing, it's like for the CSI, it has to be solved differently, or because it's for entry volumes. The problem was just to rehash, like, is if the controller manager crashes before we had a chance to record the volume attachment state in node, then we are screwed, right? Then nothing going to detach that volume. That was
yes. So that's the race that Jay from my team is planning on fixing in 120.
Right. Okay.
And that's going to be sort of related to that's also going to be related to this garbage collection issue that we don't garbage collect volume attachment objects. So I think those two we should have some solution for, I think, in 120.
Awesome.
So the other one, you're saying that we're still not sure how to fix it yet.
Yes, this one, this one we don't really have a good idea on how to fix it. Yeah, this one will need more discussion.
Is there a workaround if, let's say, it's not fixed? Is there a workaround how to get out of it?
So at least for the plugins that I've been using,
Mhm.
it's actually okay, because after 5 minutes, we just force attach to a new node, and it's okay. Like
Force.
the plugins that like the plugins I've been dealing with, like when the node actually gets deleted, the volumes just detach from the node. You don't actually have to issue a detach call. So the fact that the volume attachment object still exists has not been an issue for those plugins.
Okay. Yes, I think.
But I think this is related to I think the garbage collection problem. Um, I think we need to make sure that we are properly garbage collecting stale volume attachment objects.
Okay. So if the node is kind of done, but it's not drained properly or something, and then this garbage collector, you think will handle that one?
So yeah, so like the main thing is that usually if the node is down, it's because we're deleting the node. And usually when you issue a VM delete, that goes and detaches all the volumes. So there's no need to actually issue a detach call. But I think, for some plugins, that's not going to be the case. So we will probably have to add some sort of garbage collection in these situations to actually go and delete the volume attachment object and then force the controller to issue a unpublish.
In case of VMware, actually, if you delete the node with volumes attached on it, your volumes will be deleted too.
Well, that's not with the new stuff, right?
Have you tested it?
Really? You delete node and volume will be deleted? Are you sure? Is that so bad?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
for the
No,
old,
that's not.
for the.
That's for what? Which version?
The legacy.
Oh, the
no,
old,
it's the legacy
the in-tree one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then okay. Then I don't know.
Are we sure the new one is fixed? I'm not sure.
I have never heard of it. You delete, unless if you delete the stable set, then that's possible. But if you're only deleting the node, are you sure about it?
Delete the VM. Yeah, you delete the VM with volumes attached to it. You will for sure delete all the volumes.
That's probably the old. Yeah, that's probably the old one. I don't think the new one has anything to do with the.
I'm not so sure, but let's.
Can you if you reproduce that with the CSI driver, you can actually open issue on the CSI driver repo, then that will be triaged properly. Otherwise, I mean, I don't really know. Have you raised this issue to anyone? I haven't heard about it.
No, not yet, but it's a known thing. Yeah, there are bugs files against it.
Yeah, if you
file. About it.
Not sure.
But one more thing, like the Jan was experimenting the other day. So we know that we are not detaching volumes when the node is down or shut down. But one of the things is like we are also not detaching volumes, when we drain the node. To me, that seems like problem actually. And I don't know if
when you drain a node, it's the pod gets evicted, right?
Yeah, but the node is down and your node is shut down and you're trying to drain a shutdown node. So the pods get evicted, but pods on that node aren't deleted. They stay in that unknown weird state. And that's the reason we are not detaching volumes.
Yes. So, I mean, the signal has always been if the pod object gets fully deleted, then that's when we know it's safe to actually detach. But we do have that 5-minute timeout, right? So even if a pod doesn't get fully deleted, it's okay because after 5 minutes we will just force detach the volume. By force detach, I mean we will forget about it.
No.
We don't actually issue a detach. We just mark it as detached.
No. If the pod is there, and I mean not running, but whatever in some unknown state, then we won't issue detach, and we won't issue. Yeah.
The pod will have a deletion timestamp, right?
I think
the pod
so,
has a deletion timestamp on it, and then we also wait for the containers to be not running. But if the node is gone, that's not going to change. And so that's when the 5-minute timeout kicks in. And after 5 minutes, we will just forget about the volume.
No, actually, we won't forget about the volume. Like what we have seen is like we won't try detach because we don't know if it is safe to detach, and we won't but any other attempt to attach the same volume to somewhere else fails with multi-attach error right now.
For only 5 minutes.
No, even after that.
That's not the behavior I've seen. I've seen that after 5 minutes, we mark the volume as detached, even though we don't issue a detach. We mark the volume as detached in actual state of the world, and then that will move the volume past that multi-attach check, and then we'll issue attach on the new node. But the volume attachment object will leak on the old node.
With the CSI driver, maybe the CSI driver is a bit different. But for entry driver, obviously, I'm 100% sure that for all the entry drivers, we don't issue detach, and any other attempt to attach the same volume to somewhere else will result in a multi-attach.
I think the behavior is the same for entry.
I would think so. I would hope
Michelle,
so.
are you talking about RWX volumes or RWO volumes?
No, RWO.
RWO will
So
not attach to a new node if we're talking about the case when the node is unreachable, right? It's not ready.
Shut down.
yes,
Yeah, like
so,
it won't attach for 5 minutes.
but if
And
you
then after 5 minutes, it will go ahead and
that would
mark
be
it as detached.
That would be a very new change if that's how it works, because that's
you might be seeing this, Michelle, because of the way GCE or GKE manages cluster, because it goes ahead and deletes the nodes. So deleting the node. Sorry, yeah, I'm coming. So deleting the node automatically detaches the volume. But in general scheme of things, if you think about like other cluster, like how they manage things, they won't delete the VM, and in that case, the volume cannot be attached to any other node, even though it is not
Yes,
the.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. In that case, like the actual cloud provider is erroring when we try to attach, right?
Yeah, so it's just what you see is just GK specific thing.
why, and you're referring specifically to the case when the node is known to be shut down, not when it's just unreachable or not ready, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying that like it's weird that even when node is like cardoned and drained, we still don't detach volumes, and we know the node is shut down, and the user is actively trying to drain
Like
the node.
I think like basically the current way things work is you need to drain the node before you shut it down.
Yeah, maybe, but if
Right?
it crashed.
Draining a node after you shut it down is useless because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so in case of VMware, it's like it's bad in the sense like we had a customer who deleted the VM because they thought that it will automatically, like cause the detach, but they lost data because it deleted the volumes attached to it.
That seems
Anyway,
like a whole other thing.
Then yeah, maybe you should open open issue on the GitHub.
yeah, the for entry there's already issue.
It's a known
Okay.
it's a
Yeah.
known issue with entry.
Yeah.
So
For the
yeah.
CSI, can you open one? Because CSI driver is different. So
Yeah.
it uses FCD. So yeah, it's very different.
I'll verify and open an issue.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I think the conclusion is we definitely need some more eyes in this area. I think right now I have folks on my team concentrating on the dangling attach problem. We have not really been focused on this node shutdown issue. So I don't know if Hamad, you think it's important. If maybe you or Jan can help take a look at that, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have a look at it. That we can only fix like what is within realm of like being fixable right now with the shutdown issue though. So it's like the other thing is that the issue with the shutdown is pending for a long time. So
Yeah. I think I saw a new cap about related to node shutdown.
oh,
Might be worth reading up on.
okay.
All right. So moving on to our 120 features. I think Hamad, you created a project board for FS Group, is that right?
Yeah, I created a project group. I added the card straight, but they are not issues because I have to like finding an issue takes time. But I added all
Okay.
the items that are there on the plate, including the SC Linux stuff. So and including like CSI driver work that Christian is doing, and then other
Mhm.
stuff. So everything. If I miss
Okay,
something,
awesome.
then yeah, please add it, Christian, or yeah.
Okay, so I think next steps for this is we should figure out like who can work on what.
Yeah, with notes, there's no way to
All right.
have a signee there, right?
Yeah, it needs
So
to be an issue to have an assignee.
yeah, okay. I'll probably create issues today, sit and file them as issues separately.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. Next up is data populators.
Yeah, so I didn't finish getting the KEP ready to merge because we're going to keep it in alpha. I still will get the KEP ready to merge soon. It's just I lowered the priority of it a little bit. And then, of course, I'll continue working on it after that. But
Sounds good.
probably, yeah, I'll be looking for reviews, I guess, later in the week.
All right, awesome. Thanks for the update. Next we have snapshots.
Yeah, so I have a PR that is changing. I should probably move them to the board in those. That is changing the CRD from V1 beta 1 to V1. I talked to Xiang Chen about it. He said no need to change the webhook. It's just the, I think the manifest needs some changes. I was trying to automatically generate those, but I think there's some issues that he was saying that if you can't generate them automatically, you can just manually modify it. So now, I think now I figured out, remember there was some flag there. There was some, when we were updating to API extensions, V1, you were saying there was some issue. I think Shani couldn't remember at that time, but I think now it's probably the thing when you want to support both. I see somewhere it says only V1 beta 1 can support both. So when we are running that script to generate them.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. I was just seeing some. I was just reading everywhere to see some, but it's fine. We can because if I run, because he said he actually ran those before it works. I tried it, did not generate both, and then I see some issues opened. So I think right now I will just I generate one, and then I just make a copy of that, because basically in the same manifest we need to have both V1 and the V1 beta 1. It's not automatically generated, but since they are the same, right? So I just copy them. They are, I think for some people they have them different. I think that's more complicated. Fortunately for us, it's actually the same, identical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I submitted a PR for that. So I will try to do some sanity tests, and then I want to schedule some review. I think it's probably should ask Tim to review this, since he was the one who initially reviewed this. So it should be easier for him to review this. And then I think Grant, you have started working on the metrics, right?
Yep, started working on it.
Okay. Yeah, so Grant is working on that, and also we'll be working on the ETV test for the metrics. So we still need to look for some owners for, actually I need to update this one because I think Humble is not going to work on the ETV test in this release. I think he doesn't have time for that. So secrets, finalizers, and validation webhook. Those are 3 E2E tests I'm still looking for owners. I will bring it up in tomorrow's SIG meeting.
Sounds good. I think, have you synced up with Sean Chen? Because I think he said he was going to have someone on from his team work on the webhook test.
He didn't say that. I had a meeting with him yesterday. I would check with him again. He didn't say that he has someone, because I told
okay.
him that we don't have people for some of the tests. But let me ask him. Yeah, he was kind of in a rush to go to another meeting. So let me check with him and see if he has someone. Yeah. So in terms of priority, let's look at those 3 tests, right? If we have to prioritize those 3. Do you have a preference saying which one is more important than the other? Secrets, finalizers, validation webhook. Which one you think is more important?
I think having the stress tests and finalizers are probably important. Stress test is important because we need to have a sense of the scale of the feature. And then I think finalizers are important because we've had a lot of bugs in this area in the past.
Yeah.
So I think it would be good to have a test for those. Those are the, I think, main 2. I think validation webhook, an E2E test would be nice, but I don't know if it's required because we have a lot of unit tests for the validation webhook, and those are probably pretty sufficient.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
just like a very
basic one.
A basic E2E test would be okay. Like maybe just adding the webhook to our Prow cluster.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I think the finalizer, I think I was looking at it, I think we probably need to use the mock driver for that, because otherwise, I mean, you can't really test
order things.
When to delete. Yeah, when you delete things, right? You can't really know the timing. It's if you just run the regular using the host pass driver, it's not really easy to say, okay, I want to delete this before the snapshot is getting to the ready. There's no way for you to hold it up. I think the mock driver probably will be the one that we can use if we really want to test. Yeah, so because we could add some basic ones for that, but then you don't really know when that's going to hit, right? Because there's a timing, right? If you just use the host pass driver.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, so looking at that, yeah, see if we, yeah. I see that Yang has added something, so maybe we need something like that, just to say, I create if I create PVC and snapshot, and then before it get into the ready, I start to delete things. So maybe to use the mock driver, then we can simulate those maybe.
The mock driver has the JavaScript hooks that you can even use too.
But I don't think we even have that for the snapshot at all. So we need to enable that first. And then, yeah, I need to figure out then what. So then probably need to make changes in the CSI test first to make sure those things are, I'm not sure how dynamic it is. Like you have to make sure the image actually has those things, or you actually can dynamically add those in
the purpose of the JavaScript hook was that you don't need to compile new versions of the CSI test.
Oh, okay.
Or the CSI mock driver.
Okay.
But I think it depends on exactly what you're trying to do. Because if I recall, the JavaScript hook only supports, I think right now it only supports changing the return value. Is that right? The error code. I'm not sure it can actually do things like inject sleeps or things like that.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you could always return an error code, right? You could return an error code saying it's not ready yet or something like that. That might work.
Yeah, okay, I need to take a look. I'm not sure how that works, or if that doesn't work, maybe we'll just use the regular host pass driver, add some sleep. But yeah, I'm not sure that's a good idea, but I'll take a look. Yeah, I'm not sure what's the best way to do this, but yeah, I think this one, yeah, definitely good to have this. Yes, I think that's the main thing, making sure that we can have some E2E tests there. by the deadline, which is just 1 month away. So other than that, yeah, I also have an entry PR to remove the feature gate. I think Karthik has a work in progress PR to use patch instead of update, and then because that hopefully we could reduce the number of API update conflict things. Would that completely get rid of those when you use patch?
You might see if you're patching the same field, then you'll still see conflicts.
Okay.
But you won't get conflicts from just like a completely random field changing.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Doesn't
right.
depend on what kind of patch you're doing? I thought some patches just overwrote whatever was in the field, and other ones checked the value of the field first. And
yeah, it does depend on which field you're patching and if that constitutes a conflict with a different update.
okay.
But basically, if you have two updates to the same field, then I think that's going to result in a conflict.
But there are patches that are like only update field if the value is currently X. And then there's other patches that are just like update the value of the field no matter what. Imagine those would work differently. But I've never tried it.
I think if you add resource version to your patch, then it will conflict if you're patching the older version, patching an older object, and if you're just changing, even if your patch is good, but you're still trying to update the older version, it will still create an error.
But if you're tying yourself to a specific resource version, you may as well do an update, not a patch.
There are other issues with using update. Update could like override fields that it doesn't know about. Like the API server is on a certain version, and it has a field, and then you updated an object, and you don't know about that field, then you will set it to empty, or you just nil it out. So that's bad.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the update. Next is volume expansion.
Yeah, so the main two issues that I'm planning to fix on 120 is like the read write many one and the volume getting deleted while the PVC getting deleted while resize was pending. So, and the rest of the energy is spent on writing caps for the allow volume expansion field, and there's a CSI spec change being proposed to have node expand volume secret, and if that is what we didn't have many drivers that needed that, but there are apparently some drivers that need that. So if you're going to do that, then we will have to actually change the provisioner and change like as Zing already pointed out, we'll have to have that in the PV same as other fields. So it will require API change too, I think.
Did they say that it's the same? If the same secret, can we just reuse the same field, or would that be not good enough?
I don't know. Like it sounds like for the long-term better compatibility and everything, it might make sense to have a new field on PV. If you are going to use the same secret as the controller secret, then I don't know if it might solve majority of use cases, but then the majority of use cases,
you may get another issue right later on.
yeah, exactly. May get the issue another. And if that were the case, then like we don't need different node stage, node publish secret also on the PV source to begin with, actually, because most drivers I assume will have same node stage, node publish secrets.
Do you need to have a new feature gate for a new field being? How was that handled last time?
For CSI, this thing because we just moved features to alpha to beta, so we introduced the change as beta, and Tim Hawkins was okay with it.
Oh, okay.
And we'll have to see what we are going to do. So it's good actually that kind of we postponed moving allow volume expansion.
Oh yeah, I probably should just add whatever you want to add is add now.
Yeah. And so I'll be spending time to write the cap for these two things and then the recovery from expansion.
Well, what about the handling of the file system resize when you restore a smaller snapshot or clone a smaller volume to a bigger volume? Is that?
I think Zian from Michelle's team is working on fixing that. And
Okay,
Jan,
so separately tracked.
yeah, and Jan has opened a PR to CSI spec to update the wording of the snapshot of the create volume RPC call.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, but I think it's actually probably there may be one small fix in the external provisioner, but then actually the bigger thing is like we need to fix all the drivers to return the smaller size.
Yeah, we have to also fix the kubelet so that it doesn't error out if the driver doesn't support node expand volume and volume is in such a state. So that is something I think we'll have to fix.
Yeah. I guess do we want to add that issue? Oh, is it here?
I thought I saw that somewhere, the to-do somewhere.
Yeah, Jan created a list and he added that item in the KK main Kubernetes.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
Now you added this, or maybe. Okay.
Maybe. All right. Cool. Let's see. Volume health. Are there any updates there?
I think it's just right now. I think there was still a PR outstanding. I was hoping Nick could review it again and get it merged, but I haven't heard from him. I don't. Maybe on some vacation, but yeah, I'll wait. Otherwise, I will go review it. And then basically we're working on adding that implementation in the host path driver.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And then I think these are Patrick's stuff. I don't think there's been any movement on this. All right. Any other topics? All right, then we'll end for today. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.